Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. And the new Fantastic Four movie is out. I did a review for that, so please give that a look if you have not. But today I am doing my Fantastic Four film ranking. I would say franchise, but they're technically 5 movies that are part of 4 different franchises, at least until the MCU somehow gets them all into one. But we'll see if that happens. There are 5 Fantastic Four films, and I know what 7 of you watching are saying. You're on crazy pills. There's only 4 movies. But no, there is indeed a unreleased Fantastic Four movie that was produced in 1994. I also did a video about that as well. I can link that at the end of this video too, because it's so bad it's great movie that I personally love. Uh, that was produced by Roger Corman. I have 3 Fantastic Four related videos on this channel. I never thought I would do that, especially within a week, but here we are. So let's get into this ranking. I'm going to start with my favorite and work my way down, just like I did with my Jurassic World / Park ranking, because the best movie in this series, whatever you want to call it, is so blatantly obvious. There's no reason to count up to it. So we're just going to start out with my favorite Fantastic Four film, and it is objectively the best one. I don't care. It is. I don't care what your opinion is. And that is the new one that just came out. The MCU's 2025 Fantastic Four First Steps film. It was basically everything I've wanted a Fantastic Four movie to be and never got. So that was great. There's some things I didn't love about it. Like I said, I went into it more in the longer video, so I don't want to talk about it too long today. But long story short, I love this movie. It was easily my favorite Fantastic Four movie, easily the best one. It's the only one that really shows all the different stuff Fantastic Four are capable of, which previous films just never really had the chance or tried to do, depending on the movie. Yeah, I loved it. What are your thoughts? I personally really enjoyed it. Great superhero summer between this Superman and Thunderbolts, which was also better than I expected. We're eating good as comic book movie fans this year. Let's put it that way. Maybe I'll do a video of all the 2025 comic book movies as well at some point. It's just because it'd be kind of fun. Because couple of them are like neck and neck with me. So we'll see where that falls. Even I don't even know what I would say right now. But I digress. On to my second favorite Fantastic Four movie, and that is the aforementioned Roger Corman 1994 Fantastic Four film. This one eluded me as a child, like I said, because it never came out. I was excited for this movie when I was about 8, 9 years old, and then it just disappeared off the face of the earth, only to be discovered in bootleg form. So I sort of misspoke in my video I talked about before. I have the DVD of the film, but I originally had the VHS and then got the DVD years later. So the first time I watched this was actually on a bootleg VHS. And then I watched the DVD, which I still own. And now I got to get a Blu-ray because that DVD's wearing out. It doesn't play very well anymore. Last couple times I tried to watch it. But this movie's actually really fun. It's like a super fun, lighthearted, $1 million budget Fantastic Four film. Like these new ones are $100 million plus movies. This movie was literally 1% of that or less. What they were able to do with $1 million is pretty impressive, even at the time in 1994. It's cheesy as hell, but they portray the characters as best as they could, given what they had to work with. It's like a swift 90 minutes long, which that's one thing I didn't mention in the review for the new film. Props for the Fantastic Four movies for all being under 2 hours long. Anyways, this movie's fun. It's got Doctor Doom. It's got all the Fantastic Four clearly. It's got a rip-off version of the Mole Man because they didn't have the rights to the Mole Man, so he's called the Jeweler. And it has a great origin. I honestly think this is like the best origin story Fantastic Four film that we have, is Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. And it's just like, it is a so bad it's good movie because it's so cheap. But they put their heart and soul into this movie, and it shows, and I enjoy it. What can I say? Go watch my Bad Movie Bible video. I talk a lot more about it, give a little more details. And then there's a really good documentary named Doomed about the production of this film. That is very good as well, that I recommend you all watch. All right, my third favorite is the 2005 Fantastic Four film. The first Fantastic Four film I got to see in the theater. I think it's funny that no one gave a shit about this movie when it came out, or the 20 years after this movie came out until the new one like went into production. And all of a sudden everyone's like, no one will beat this movie. It's like, no one liked it when it came out. What happened? So apparently there was a lot of like little kids born around this time that grew up on it. So they're nostalgic for it, I suppose. I was like 19 when this movie came out. So I was like, it's fine. Even at that point, it was subpar compared to other superhero movies that had recently come out between, like, Spider-Man and Hulk and Blade and Batman Begins and stuff. So, yeah, this was a little underwhelming, let's say, even for its time in the superhero genre, but it has aged very well. I said that in the other videos also. I actually like this movie more now than I did when it first came out because I was kind of like, this is kind of lame. But now I kind of watch it as a not great, but it's very fun enough at least. Well cast Fantastic Four movie. I was never a huge fan of Jessica Alba as Invisible Woman. Everyone else seems to love her. Yes, she's good looking. Doesn't make her good in the role. Um, and then she got the progressively more distracting blue contacts as the movies went on. Johan Griffith as Mr. Fantastic is very good. Michael Chiklis is a decent thing. Like, I'm not a huge fan of his, but I have nothing against him in this movie. Chris Evans as Johnny Storm is far and away the best thing about this franchise, which is why it's the only character in the new film that actually had something to live up to, in my opinion. All the Johnny Storms in all these movies are actually arguably the best character consistently throughout the franchise. And Doctor Doom was fine. The late Julian McMahon passed away sadly recently. They didn't do the character right at all, but for what he's given in the movie to do, he was fine. Doctor Doom looks enough like Doctor Doom. He just kind of has whatever powers are convenient at the time. But it's got the old "we got to work together as a family" ending. But it's so underwhelming compared to like everything in the scope of the new film. But the 2005 Fantastic Four film aged well, but it's still a distant third as far as my favorite of these movies go. Next, number 4, is its sequel, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, a swift 92-minute long superhero movie. I remember, like I said, they're all short. When Fantastic Four was like 104 minutes long, I was like, oh my god, that's way too short for an origin story superhero movie. But Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer it's a corny movie. It's more of a kids movie. It's PG, which is the weirdest thing. Silver Surfer is awesome in this movie. Doug Jones plays him practically like on set, and then Lawrence Fishburne does the voice. So very well done Silver Surfer, especially for the time. He looks good. He sounds awesome. When he like loses his power and he's like a practical suit and he's like not as shiny, it looks really cool. It's kind of like unsettling. But I think they did that as well as they could, all things given. Of course, the big shit stain on this movie is Galactus, which, thank science, they redeemed in this new movie and did it proper for once. Is a giant cloud. He's still going around eating planets like he should, but instead of a giant space god that literally eats planets, he's just like this sentient cloud that floats around and makes wormholes as he drains planets of things. So Galactus, long story short, isn't Galactus, and that's very stupid. Either they didn't have the resources to do it right, or and my assumption is they chickened out and didn't want to. They thought it would look goofy, which when done right, it obviously doesn't. Go see the new one. So yeah, that was the biggest thing of this movie that pissed everybody off. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, this could be like an easy number 2. In a good way, not in a poopy way, in my ranking here. But because of that, it's like as good as the first one, but the Galactus thing just like takes it down several pegs because it's like, why bother? But other than that, I thought it was okay. I liked seeing like Doctor Doom with the Silver Surfer powers to be like Ultimate Doom. I forget what it's called. But he comes like God Doom. He comes in the comics where he becomes like a godlike character. He's so powerful. So it's sort of like that. This is back when they just kind of did whatever the hell they wanted to and didn't have to follow the comic books as much. They didn't try back then like they do now. So all things said, it's not bad. But I feel the first one has aged better than this one. This one's still just like, it's okay. And of course, last but not least, number 5. Distant number 5. It's like Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then like way down here in the bowels of the earth is Fan4 Stick. And having said that, I thought it was better than I expected. That's how bad this reputation of this movie is that no, even though it's so bad, it's as bad as everyone says it is. I still thought it was a little better and I enjoyed it more than I expected to. Yeah, it's terrible. The Dark Knight was like the best and worst thing to happen to comic book movies at the same time because it like legitimized them, but also made everyone think everything had to be dark and grimy and stupid. And it just does not work for these characters. The origin story is more of the ultimate Fantastic Four origin than the space travel original story like in the other films, which I prefer, but it's still cool. In this one, he invents teleportation and goes to this alternate universe where they get their powers, as opposed to going to space and getting hit with the cosmic rays or what have you. So the origin is accurate to the Ultimate series. I double checked that because I was like, oh, that must be the Ultimate thing, and I was right. It has a good cast. Like all these movies have really good casts. That's one thing they got going for them. Miles Teller is Mr. Fantastic. Kate Mara as Sue Storm, Jamie Bell as the Thing. Why can't I think of Michael B. Jordan? There we go as Human Torch, which was controversial at the time because oh Lord, he black, and that was a Josh Trank thing. Apparently, he wanted both the Storm children to be black characters, but they like made him have Sue Storm be white, so then they had to have her be adopted and do that way. But I mean, whatever, he's good in the part. Because he's good with what they give him, and he's obviously a good actor, as we've learned over the last decade, especially with Sinners recently and stuff like that, and Black Panther. And then Tobin Bell, I believe, not Tobin Bell. What's the guy from Saw? What the fuck's his name? The guy who plays Doctor Doom in this. I can't think of his name. Mixing up Jamie Bell and his name, Toby something. What the fuck is it? Toby Kebbell. There we go. I had to look it up. It was like yeah. I was there. I had all the right letters, just not in the right order. I like him a lot. He's great in like the Planet of the Apes films. He does mocap acting in those, and he's like one of the more interesting characters in those films. But he's good as the Doctor Doom they let him be, in what little he's in it. Pretty much once he becomes Doctor Doom, it's like not even him. It's like a stunt actor because they had to reshoot the whole movie damn near, and it's blatantly obvious when you see Sue Storm's real hair and her extremely blonde wig. Back to her real hair with her brown roots. Back to her extremely blonde wig. It is glaringly obvious when you know it's there, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the movie is boring as hell. This movie's 100 minutes long. I was excited when I saw that. I was like, oh good, it's short. It's even shorter than the first one that was only 140 or 104 minutes long. And it's the longest 100-minute long superhero movie you'd ever seen in your life. I didn't mind it for like the first like half hour. I thought it was okay. Like the dark, dreary mood wasn't like bothering me too much, even though it's unnecessary. It was kind of fun watching him as a kid, inventing the teleportation thing and getting to the Baxter building. But then nothing happens for like an hour. It's just them in a lab talking uninterestingly, and they have like no personality for the most part. It's like Johnny likes driving his car, and then like there's no family element in this movie hardly. Even the siblings barely seem like siblings because they're technically adopted siblings. There's just like no chemistry between any of these characters whatsoever, especially like Sue and Reed. It's like you're supposed to be like in love and like eventually get married, and you fucking barely talk to each other. It feels like. So on that aspect, this movie just like fails miserably. Visually, it's not the worst. Their powers look kind of cool for the most part. Human Torch is probably, like I said, the most consistent, both as an actor standpoint and visual effects standpoint. He looks the best. Reed looks pretty cool when he stretches in this movie. I like the aftermath part where he's like stretched out on the table and going through the vents. That part's kind of cool. That's pretty much when the movie loses me. Is like once they get their powers finally, it's like okay, good, and then it's just them in a lab for like another hour. It's hard to watch, and it just gets so boring. And then the climax is a generic 2000s big laser beam in the sky conflict supervillain thing, and then Doctor Doom barely does jack shit. The coolest thing in the movie is when he's just walking down a highway, when he's walking down the hallway, blowing people's heads up with his fucking mind. And I'm like, that's awesome and that's scary, but it doesn't fit in this movie. But as a scene, isolated, this is a cool sequence. And even that part, I think, isn't even the actor who originally plays the character because they had to reshoot so many things. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. There's very little to like about this movie outside, like, what they tried to do. Like, I respect that, I guess. But these are, like, light and fun characters. You can't make everything a dark and dreary superhero movie. Batman is Batman for a reason. That's why he's Batman, and it works that way. That's why when there's a light and funny Batman, it doesn't work very well. It's kind of the opposite. Unless you're Adam West, then you're okay. It's amazing in a different way because it's not like trying to be serious, silly. It's just like it's the whole thing is that it's a fucking camp fest. And that's kind of what Fantastic Four should be. It should be sort of like lighthearted and fun and campy because that's what it originally was back in the 60s. And that's what the new movie portrays very well along with the family element. What this movie just has nothing in this movie outside the characters happen to be the right characters feels like Fantastic Four. It's sort of like I don't want to shit on this movie because I like it a lot more than this. The Man of Steel of Fantastic Four movies, where it's like, yeah, it's all the same characters, but we're gonna take away everything that makes him that character, and hope people like it because it's edgy. But at least it's a watchable, sort of cool movie that has pacing, so it gets points for that. But yeah, Fan Four Stick. It's somehow as bad as I expected, but I somehow liked it more than I expected to, solely because I was going into it knowing it was going to be the worst thing I've ever seen. It's still an easy number 5 for me. What's your ranking of the Fantastic Four films, or the Fantastic Five films, I guess, now that there's 5 of them? 5 Fantastic Four films? All 5 of them? Go out and watch a Roger Corman one, and then just watch it knowing it's a campy little $1 million budget schlock fest, and you'll have a good time. Watch it with buddies, laugh at the stupid stuff, enjoy the fun campy stuff, and it's a good time. So that's my ranking of all 5 Fantastic Four films. I can't wait to see what they do with this new team. Obviously, they're going to lead into Doomsday with Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four. They've already been announced for that. I am excited to see what they do. I hope we get more movies in this universe because it's so visually interesting. But outside of a Fantastic Four movie on its own, I don't know what they could really do there. But I'd be fine just seeing another 1 or 2 Fantastic Four movies in a trilogy taking place in this 828 universe. I'll shut up now. Once again, my name is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Shop, pop, movies.